Well, we go from one of the messiest races we've ever had here on the channel last week at Chicago Streets, straight into one of the hidden gems of Roval racing, if that indeed is your thing. We'll be under the sunshine, under the lights, and then back under the sunshine here at the Homestead Road A configuration. Coverage of the Co-Drivers Pad Grand Prix of Miami is around the turn here for the GoSquadra Formula Super Series on turn 200.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
A blind night that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
No, I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all, until he landed in the divine dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire Returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
Presentation.
Welcome back to Turn 200's coverage of the GoSquadra Formula Super Series. Tonight it is the Co-Drivers Pad Grand Prix of Miami, and this is the Homestead-Miami Speedway Road A layout. It's been virtually unchanged since the venue's construction was completed in 1995. It even survived the remodel from the Mini Indy version back in 1997. 14 turns, 2.2 miles. It's a very interesting road course, a little internal switchback action going on, but it's really, really fun, and for the most part, it can be run under the lights, as we're going to find out here shortly. With more on Homestead Road A, we'll turn it over to a short lap with Matt Short.
Matthew Short here with another demo lap here at Homestead Road Course A for Season 2, Round 7 of FSS. We're going to start here down at the start-finish line, full all the way up to 6th. First turn's going to be completely flat out, not a problem. About 50 meters from the curb, you're going to hit those brakes down to 3rd. Once you get it going, you're going to bring it up to 4th, but bring it right back down to 2nd. For turn 3, 4, you're going to want to keep it in 2nd. Just keep that throttle under control, not too much, or else you will spin. Coming up here to turn 6, right before the curbs here, you're going to bring it down to 2nd. And then as you come to the exit, you got to be careful on that throttle because it will come around. And even here on turn 7, even though it's flat out, you got to be careful. As you can see, the rear end wanted to step out there on me a little bit. As we're coming here to turn 8, keep an eye on the right side for the light post. Hit the brakes hard, down to 2nd. Keep it hugged on that curb on the inside. And then as soon as you see that straight line, punch it. As we're coming up here to turn 9, we'll be completely flat. It's going to be bumpy, so you got to be careful and brave through there. And then as we go to turn 10, you're going to see here on the right side about 50 meters until the curbs, a brake about 4th. And then for turn 11, we keep it in 3rd. Turn 12, I keep it in 2nd. And then as we go back, you want to kind of keep it more left than I had it because it's a big bump. And then that is a lap of Homestead Road Course A.
Very fun course. Very excited to get things underway here. As qualifying is underway, we'll remind you and thank once again as qualifying is underway. It's time to tell you that tonight's Grand Prix is presented by Co-Drivers Pad. Co-Drivers Pad is a standalone co-driving pace notes program to be paired with your favorite rallying game. It's created for remote rallying sessions with your buds as the program overlays easy-to-read pace notes on any screen sharing session and allows your remote co-driver to cycle through them with ease. So if you ever want to attack some rally stages with your best mate with pace notes that you create, stop by codriverspad.rf.gd the next time you come to a virtual service park. 4D Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoe and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. And GoSquadra, the title sponsor of the Formula Super Series. GoSquadra's mission is to enhance race team management across all sim racing platforms. GoSquadra will connect drivers with teams, manage race events, create and edit stint schedules, enable easy stint adjustments on the fly during a live race, and much more. Coming soon, head over to GoSquadra.com. So that will bring us into the live coverage then. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Tommy Cook, and I am by myself tonight because Matt Williamson flying across the country today had every intention of being here, but his flight was delayed by multiple hours. So that has sort of set him back enough to where he is not even home yet. So safe travels to Matt and Madison. Hopefully we'll hear from them soon, but definitely not on this broadcast. They'll be back, or Matt will be back, rather, for the Venom Truck Series tomorrow night. But we've got the Formula Super Series here tonight. It is already round number 7. Hard to believe, of this 10-race schedule here for season number 2 of the GoSquadra Formula Super Series. Let's take a look at the point standings. And it was after round number 3 that Titus Sherlock had a 100-plus point lead. And that lead is gone. He has not finished a race in 3 races. Not finished a feature race in 3 events. Crazy to think. He's now 30 points behind. It's nearly a 100-point swing. A little over a 100-point swing, actually, in the last 3 races. So João de Gregorio, the reigning champion, despite not having a feature victory this season, he's got 4 sprint victories, and that has been good enough to get him the top of the point standings here. Titus Sherlock still in second, though, and looking for a big rebound. He's fastest in qualifying and was fastest in practice as well. Mitch Welker, third in the point standings. He's won multiple Grand Prix this season. Hunter Engrav has been very consistent. He's a ways back and forth. Christopher Hill is your most recent feature winner with the Formula Super Series. He's back in P5 in the standings. Hello to Good Leaf Archives, already hanging out with us here, as we'll give you a look at the scoring chart here. For whatever reason, we always like to run the top scrolling ticker, and it's not working for me tonight. I may try it out at some point just to see if it's going to work, but I don't think it's going to. So we'll try it once and won't even bother later. But regardless, this is your side ticker. If you're somebody like me that does not particularly enjoy the the side tower, then I'm very sorry. But we're rolling with what we got. This is going to be a very interesting night here with the Homestead road course. Again, it's a little over 2 miles in length, a couple of switchbacks. It's really, really fun. Really fun Roval. Not going to quite dip into the nighttime as much as I thought we were going to. I think it's going to be day here in just a second, but this is kind of the idea of what the track temperatures and track conditions are going to be here in about 15 seconds when we take to tonight's sprint starting grid. 15 minutes for the sprint, 40 minutes for the feature, with a required pit stop in the feature race before the green flag would wave in dirt track racing with 2 laps to go, and after the 10-lap mark of the race. And just like that, the conditions change very, very much. And so it is now time to hit the starting grid here for tonight's sprint race. And it will look like this. Titus Sherlock will be on the pole position. João Di Gregorio will start to his outside. These are the top 2 in the point standings. Kevin Bonomi in third. He's been very fast, has yet to post a victory. He starts in third with Mitch Welker, third in the standings, 2 times a feature winner here this season, starting in fourth. Michael Costello and Jeff Groff on the third row. Hunter Engrav, Zach Buchanan on row 4. Gavin Sanders is here tonight for the first time this season. He will start in spot number 9 with Kyle Allen, the top AM, on the grid in 10th. And here are the rest of your starting lineup. All the way back to Drew White there, back in the 27th position. And with a lot more sunshine now here in the Sunshine State. Just a look at the track conditions. Really not all that much different. A little bit cloudy. A little bit windy. And you'll have that in Florida. Sending all the best to everybody affected by Helene. It's been a rough go here of late, weather-wise, in the southern United States, that's for sure. "30 seconds until everybody's required to be on the grid here. All the Bellagio bucks on JJ Wing tonight. You know, JJ is coming off a career-best finish with the Formula Super Series last week at the Chicago Street Course, ran runner-up in the race that he put on the calendar. So can he back that up with a strong run here tonight? A lot of drivers looking to forget everything that happened last week, I would imagine. And no better way to do that than to get yourself off to a good start here in the sprint race at the Homestead Roval. Engines are revving. And the green flag waves. Great start right off the rip for João Di Gregorio. A little bit of stacking up further back there as everybody funnels into a pretty tight entry into the infield here, winding through the first 3 turns. Pretty clean starts for the most part through the field. Oh, and there's Di Gregorio off. Just as I say that, he's around. Looks like maybe some contact as Kevin Bonomi gets through. Bonomi now up to second. Di Gregorio from first to third, and more problems further back. Oh, that is quite the pileup here. Capalucci is involved. Griffin Yellen has towed back to the pits. Dakota DeMade, who is back tonight, may have also been involved in that. All right, now Di Gregorio back up to second. Bonomi in third. Mitch Welkers in fourth. Hunter Engrav right now rounds out the top five, and it's Titus Sherlock with a comfortable lead here, looking for a sprint victory. Look at the transition there on to the banking. It is rough, to say the least. You definitely want to go later and avoid the big transition if you can. Di Gregorio 1.7 seconds behind. As we've had a couple of other things happen here as we're following this grouping for the lead. Looks like Cody Claiborne has had an issue as well, and he has gone back to the pits. We'll take a look at some of these incidents here once things start to settle down a bit, if they do at all. Problems for Zach Buchanan. It looks like he has gone off the track. Johnston also had an issue. It looks like there's a lot of scurrying and scrambling all around here outside of the top 15. There's Titus Sherlock with the lead. John Di Gregorio in second. Kevin Bonomi is running in the third spot. Welker and Engrav, the top five. JJ Wang back in eighth was showing an off track for him. Looks like he is still going and has not lost any positions. Titus Sherlock has looked like the man to beat tonight. At least in the sprint, this is going to set up quite nicely for him. He should catch very heavy lap traffic, as there goes Kevin Bonomi a bit wide there. And he'll lose one spot. He may lose a second here. As Engrav has gotten through. Jeff Groff sending a lunge to the inside of Michael Costello. Can't quite make it stick. So Welker and Engrav both through on Bonomi. Bonomi back to fifth. Top AM right now is Kyle Allen back in 12th. He's got Zach Flum and Matt Johnston right behind. So 1.5 seconds for Di Gregorio to catch up to Titus Sherlock. And he's got about 2 seconds back to Welker in third. These are the power trio of the season thus far. But Titus Sherlock has been absent for a lot of the last few races and not really of his own doing. He seems to find trouble more often than not. Or trouble, rather, seems to find him after winning the first 3 rounds of the championship in a row. It's been 3 straight feature DNFs after that. There's Christian Jasper way off the track. He'll lose 2. He might lose a third. That's Zach Flaum looking to get through. Let's go back to an incident here earlier in this race. This is Nate Siefker tailing Sam McDougall, I believe. Oh, Siefker's going to lock up, and actually there is McDougall. Nowhere for Sam to go. Oh, it's going to work. How about that? Love that. As we're back to real time. Kyle Allen back in 11th is still in the top hand position as well. That's Jasper. I mean, a wild lunge there. Had him locked up. Slid through the grass. That was Zach Flaum on the receiving end of that. I think Flaum is still just stuck there. We'll quickly take a look at this. Jasper looking for a look to the inside. Oh, man. Just a bit too much. Quickly, we'll take a peek back up to the front. Titus Sherlock in command right now by 1.4 seconds. The lead is shrinking, but not by enough. Zhao doing all he could do here in P2. Schwelker in third, Hunter Ingrav in fourth, Kevin Minomi in fifth. Zach Pfeil is headed down pit road. Oh, that's Drew White, who has gone around in 21st. Awkward spot to try and get back into motion there, but we'll do it without much further incident. Let's go kick pot here with Zhao Di Gregorio. 1.4 seconds to try and make up here in the next 8 minutes. And the top 10 from the sprint race will be inverted for the starting grid for the 40-minute feature. And the grid inverts have done a few of the sprint race winners in, most notably Zhao Di Gregorio the first couple of weeks. Won the sprints and then didn't even make a lap in either of the features. The transition here onto the backstretch is much more gradual than it is on the front stretch. Flat out. Nerves of steel. Wow, that is rough. Overtake is on. He's doing his best to cut into this gap, but nearly equal lap times there. Titus Sherlock 8/100ths of a second quicker last time around. Good little battle here. 4th, 5th, and 6th, all nose to tail. That's Engrav in 4th. Bonomi, the meat and the sandwich here. Michael Costello running in 6th. Gavin Sanders running I guess a stock paint scheme. Behind JJ Wang here, that'll be a challenge for 8th. As Bonomi just missed it, of course. Second we look away, he makes the pass on Hunter Engrav. So Engrav now back to 5th. Gavin Sanders, JJ Wang, drag racing down the back stretch. Jockeying to go flat out here, back into the infield. This is, in my opinion, the better of the two Roval layouts. I always get them confused, though, whether it's A or B. This is a great infield exit back to the front stretch. A lot more creative than just using oval turns 3 and 4. Di Gregorio is turning it on here. He's about 6/10 quicker last time around. He's 8/10 of a second behind Titus Sherlock with 5 to go. Oh, problems for Dakota DeMade. He's buried it off in the sand trap. Whoa, that was close. It's Dakota's first race back since Barcelona several weeks ago. Leighton Lewis cheering on, I believe, Christian Jasper. He's had some problems here in the sprints, but will look to turn it around after a first top 5 of the season last week at Chicago. I'm sure he'll be looking forward to the feature. Sherlock leading now back up to a second over Di Gregorio. Faster of the top 3 last time by was Mitch Welker. 4/10 up on the top 2. Oh, and you saw our car spun there. I believe that was Drew White. Lap car ahead is Mario Capolucci. And he will let the leaders go by very graciously. As Di Gregorio is not going away. They've been fading at different points, but he is hanging right here, half a second behind. And now inside of a car length, right up, tucked up under that back wing here, looking for the race lead. Such a hard transition there. Thought maybe Sherlock didn't get a great exit, but he obviously did. He puts a couple of tenths and a couple of car lengths, crucially, between he and Di Gregorio. Problems for Zach Buchanan. He has ripped the rear wing off that car. As Kevin Bonomi back in 5th has crashed, and he has crashed hard. That will take him out of the top 5. Di Gregorio much later on the braking there. Able to reel in the race leader once more. The time on the clock you're looking for is 1:07. And I think we're going to make it there in time. They should have 2 laps to go. And indeed they will. Mitch Welker's charge is stalled. He's riding comfortably in 3rd. He's got 4 seconds back to Hunter Engrav in 4th. Gavin Sanders has picked his way up through the field. He's in 6th. And the top 2 are the closest for position anywhere on the track. 0.6 of a second as they ride. This part of the track has been where Di Gregorio has been able to make all the ground up. Kyle Allen, top am right now in P9, coming to the white flag this time in our sprint race. Whoa, Zhao is right there. He's been late on the brakes, but any later, and that would have been a serious problem for both of these racers. 1 to go. Zhao's going for it. A lunge! Wow, he fed him a right rear. Crossover from Sherlock. João Di Gregorio leads, but Titus Sherlock is not going away quietly. He'll have to go to the outside here into the right-hander. But he crosses him up. João, well placed. Sherlock to driver's right. Again, Sherlock looking for a good drive off and a crossover. If he's got any push to pass left, now's the time to use it. João Di Gregorio in the final turn. What a maneuver. João Di Gregorio will see the checkers and take sprint win number 5. Titus Sherlock led them all but the last one. Incredible. Let's back this up and take a look at it one more time. If we can. We might run out of time here. A huge lunge, no contact, a lockup for DiGregorio. Sherlock cannot capitalize. What a tricky part of the track to pull that off in. A super move. There's some contact. I can't believe he pulled that off where he pulled it off. Kyle Allen will finish with the top AM honors and be in the invert for the sprint. And by this point, Titus was out of it. All right, we'll send it to our mid-roll break and be back here in just a moment, hopefully with a word from João DiGregorio. That was quite the sprint race here from Homestead-Miami Speedway.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all. Until... he landed in the Divine Dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
Turn 200's coverage of the GoSquadra Formula Super Series Co-Drivers Pad Grand Prix of Miami is presented by Co-Drivers Pad, 4D Racewear, and GoSquadra. Back to the action here. Waiting to see if Chowder Gregorio is going to hop in the waiting room for an interview here. But regardless, man, what a race that was. If you just missed the sprint, you missed a good one. Hello to Gavin Sanders in the chat. It's great to see you again. I hope we'll be seeing more of you here soon with Truck 200 coming up and some other stuff that we can't talk about yet. But thank you for coming here tonight. Great to see you. Sorry you're feeling sick, but appreciate seeing you back out on track. Yeah, and appreciate you hanging out in the chat with us as well. Yeah, Leighton Lewis, exactly. Damn, what a move. And indeed it was. That is exactly the kind of stuff that we love to see from Jaude Gregorio, who has only got one feature victory in his career with the Formula Super Series, and it came last season. We've yet to see him stand tall on a feature podium here this season, but it won't matter at the end of the season if he keeps beating Titus Sherlock, because that will get him the points championship. He's 30 points in the clear. He just added to that a little bit. And with the races that we got coming up here the rest of the season, who knows which way they're going to go. It's a mixed bag, as this entire season has been. You've seen it on the ticker already. Barber Motorsports Park for the first time on Turn 200 next Monday night. And then it will be Belle Isle, Detroit Belle Isle. The Monday after that, we'll take a week off and end the championship at one of the Turn 200 favorites, Road America. So that is an interesting cacophony of courses to finish this one out. Maybe not as crazy as Chicago Street and Homestead Roval A back-to-back, but you kind of get the picture. This whole season has been a really interesting one, and it's playing out very interestingly as well. So now with Titus Sherlock and Jaude Gregorio at the back of the invert here for the top 10, they will definitely have some work to do, not just to make up positions, but also to survive. I will say this, the start for the sprint was a lot cleaner than I thought it was. Really only one incident to note. It took out a couple of drivers, but for the most part, it wasn't nearly that crazy. Now, Jaude Gregorio's move there into turn number 2 on the final lap may have opened up Pandora's box just a bit, because I don't think, for myself, I didn't realize that move was going to be on the table. Maybe Joe didn't realize it was going to be on the table either, but he certainly took advantage of it, and it worked. And he played great defense for the rest of the lap as well. So that's that. I think this is going to be a very interesting feature start ahead of 40 minutes. You would think the urgency would be a little bit higher in the sprint race, considering there's a lot less time. But often it's been the opposite here this season, and the feature grids have seen a lot more calamity. So are we in for that here tonight? Who is to say? Hello to anybody else that's hanging out with us as well. Appreciate everybody. We got the Venom Truck Series from the Circuit of the Americas tomorrow night for the very first time in series history. That is chase race number 2 for the Venom Truck Series. And then Thursday night, it is playoff round number 2, race number 2 from Talladega for the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series, which will be an interesting one. Rob Haynes locked himself in to the third round to the semifinals with a big upset victory last week at the Kansas Under the Lights. And Talladega is known for nothing if not for upset victories. So we'll hope you'll join us here ahead of Barber Motorsports Park next Monday night for the GoSquadra Formula Super Series. But now it is time for the Co-Drivers Pad Grand Prix of Miami, and this is the starting grid for tonight. Top 10 inverted from the sprint. It's Matt Johnson who will lead the field of green. Michael Costello, top AM. Kyle Allen starting in third. J.J. Wang in fourth. Gavin Sanders scheduled to start fifth. That will be an empty grid spot. Jeff Groff, Hunter Engrav, Mitch Welker, Titus Sherlock, Jaude Gregorio, Christopher Hill and Nick Fleury on row number 6, Christian Jasper, Brent Hahn on row 7, Brian Labarge and Dakota DeMade on row 8, Sam McDougall, Mario Cappellucci, Nick Goyette, and Kevin Minomi, the top 20. And that is the rest of the running order. Quick look at the weather. As we go now to the grid, or attempt to anyway. Should be kicking off here any moment, with Matt Johnston and Michael Costello at the front of the field. Red lights are on, and the green flag is out. Kyle Allen side by side with Michael Costello into turn number 1. A little bit of contact there, a lot of contact between the top 4. Everybody trying to make sure that they work through turns 1 and 2. Sketchy start to this course, to this feature. Up front into the right-hander, a bit of lockup there from Michael Costello, who has come out with the race lead. Mitch Welker running in 5th, ahead of Titus Sherlock, Jowdy Gregorio. They are 5th, 6th, and 7th. In the opposite order that they finished the sprint race. Oh, contact almost! Di Gregorio would have piled into the back of Titus Sherlock. It would have been par for the course for the 311 of late, but they both survive. Oh, there's one off. That was Matt Johnston in 2nd as they rumble and bumble and stumble from the infield back onto the banking. Problems again for Griffin Yellen at the back of the field. He has crashed quite a bit. We'll be able to keep going. There's a look. Kyle Allen defending against J.J. Wang. And Wang now under fire from Welker. Welker flanked by Titus Sherlock. And Sherlock! Send! Oh my goodness! A disaster! Absolute catastrophe, and this time it was at Sherlock's own hands, the lockup. And he is certainly going to be in a world of hurt, if not completely out of this Grand Prix. Wow. Di Gregorio gets through. Welker and Sherlock do not. J.J. Wang is coming down pit road, involved in the accident. Before too much else happens, let's take a look at that. And it's already started here. I think what it's just going to show is that Sherlock locked it up. I don't think maybe Welker got on the brakes maybe a bit sooner while he was trying to look out there. Either that or he lost track of his braking point. Either way, that was a disaster for Welker, who I'm sure is not going to be happy. And Sherlock as well. It's been bad luck the last 3 weeks, and that was less on the luck. But still unfortunate for Sherlock, who was having the night that he needed to have up to this point. So here's Di Gregorio in 3rd now. Jeff Groff is behind. Di Gregorio is a little over 4 seconds behind the race leader. Michael Costello. Matt Johnston is running in 2nd. Zhao in 3rd. Groff in 4th. Christopher Hill, who could use a night here as well to follow up his big win last week at Chicago. He's running in 5th. He got no points in the sprint, finished 11th. But everybody will score some points in the feature. Ingram, Buchanan, McDougall, Siefker, and Jasper right now the top 10. Top AM is Brett Hahn in the 11th. That is Hill getting through on Groff, so Hill will go up to P4. And Engrav is right here to capitalize if Groff should make a mistake, or if indeed Engrav has the pace to get through. Christian Jasper getting passed by Nate Siefker. Trying to fight back, though. Or rather, Siefker trying to fight off Brett Hahn as Jasper got back through on Siefker. Hahn right now for top AM is nearest competition. Not too far behind. Cody Claiborne in this line here, back at 13th. So the 26 drivers that started this race, looks like 21 of them are out on the track. Of course, we've lost Mitch Welker, Titus Sherlock, Mario Cappellucci as well, and J.J. Wang. There's Brian LaBarge nearly up into the wall. And more problems now for Griffin Yellen, who has towed back to the pits. Take a quick look at this. Yeah, and trying to hold it flat out there, that's a tough place to do it for everybody. So, 1.5 second lead for Michael Costello. We're here with Matt Johnston. This is Titus Sherlock's teammate, so the team could use a good night. And Costello is delivering thus far. Still a long way to go here, and Jaude Gregorio is lapping a bit faster than both of these gentlemen in front of him. In fact, there is Jow with the top two in front, about 2.5 seconds behind. Ran the purple lap last time by 107.59. It's a 108.15 for Michael Costello, the race leader. Oh, and problems down for Brian LaBarge. Again, out of the final turn, he has crashed. Dakota DeMade is slowing there as well. And Dakota has jumped back to the pits. Here's the barge, spin, lock up. Oh, and DeMade lost the left rear tire on that car. Maybe he... Oh my, there was a whole nother accident back here as they were getting checked up here for LaBarge. Oh no, DeMade caught that tire. So those yellow tires there on the inside of that turn are static. They do not give at all. I was wondering if somebody was going to catch that. Unfortunately, it was Dakota. Oh, problems for Sam McDougal. McDougal has crashed. He was inside the top 10. This is McDougal inside of Nate Siefker, who's running in 8th. And Sam already has damage at this point. It kind of looks like, anyway. The car looks a little cattywampus, but okay. So McDougal is out. I don't have any other notifications from him, so. And, of course, the cameras are going to stop working because somebody left. All right, there we go. Not sure what just happened. Jowdy Gregorio is through to second there. So I think maybe Michael Costello just lagged out of the session, because this is now the battle for the lead. No, Costello is thoroughly confused. Let's go back and try and figure out what just happened here. As it shows, Costello is just not on the track. Now he's back and he's in 7th. So I have no idea what to make of that. All right, well, we've got a battle for the lead on our hands now. Matt Johnston and Jowdy Gregorio. The points leader and the reigning champ giving chase here to Johnston. Pits will be open this time for anybody that wants to take it. The overcut's worked some places. The undercut has worked others. See if anybody amongst the leaders is going to head to pit road this time. Not looking like it so far. Johnson doing a good job holding off Di Gregorio. They might force Zhao's hand into trying to trigger the undercut here. We'll keep our eye on the battle for the lead and jump back real quick to Jeff Groff and Hunter Ingrav. Zach Buchanan, all relatively close to one another here in 4th, 5th, and 6th. Oh, Labarge again around in the final turn. Back up front, Di Gregorio, very good in that hairpin turn. And cut a big chunk out of the lead there once again, with Johnston showing the way here in the 04. Christian Jasper from P8 will hit pit road this time. So unless I really missed something, but the software is not giving me much indication as to anything happening. My best guess for how Michael Costello gave up the lead. I saw him disconnect first, so I'm assuming he knew he was blinking. He pulled out of the way, and then when he came back, he was in 7th rather than in the lead. Oh, that is Kevin Bonomi, who was inside the top 10, now has fallen down to 11th. What looked to be somewhat of a spin and a lockup there. We'll jump back to the battle for the lead now. Headed back out of the infield. Top AM honors right now, P8 for Brett Hahn. Kevin Bonomi will bring it down pit road. So he will join Christian Jaspers, the two drivers running inside the top 10 to come down pit road thus far. Johnson Sending it deep there into the hairpin, just like Zhao is doing, and it seems to be working. Zhao is just so fast. Zhao will undercut. Di Gregorio's headed to pit road. As long as he doesn't speed. Stellar defensive driving from Matt Johnston. Will this require Johnston to come down pit road here? Oh, Hunter Engrav is way off the track there into the first two turns. Oh, Matt Johnston went off the track there as well. That certainly will not help his matter at all. Christian Jasper just went off the track. He's come back on, no further issue. Now Johnston's issue might be Christopher Hill, because that was a pretty sizable gap between the two. Now it stands at just 1 second. So Johnston having to fight the invisible battle with Di Gregorio, who's come down pit road already. And now we'll have to answer the call. Undercut Hill, an answer to Di Gregorio. Jeff Groff and Michael Costello also down pit road this time. So that gives control of the race to Christopher Hill. Zach Buchanan is still out on track. He is running in second. Hunter Engrav has also come down pit road. Brett Hahn, Zach Flaum will both bypass. They run third and fourth. And they run nose to tail here as well. Johnston is in his stall. We'll wait to see where Di Gregorio comes out in relation. There's Di Gregorio, and he comes out right behind Johnston. But with the tires up to temperature already, a change of tires is required. This car will not refuel. So that is the only difference here. No alternate compounds either. Johnston will put on one move to the right, put himself to the inside here for the right-hander. Di Gregorio smells blood in the water here. The hairpin has been his playpin tonight. Can he find a way through on Johnston for what provisionally could be the race lead? Johnston getting his elbows out. Wow. That is so violent. Johnston, incredible job. His work is not done, but the fact that he is still in front of the one car is remarkable. Nobody else down pit road this time. Oh, Hunter Engrav with a problem further back. He has gone around out of the final turn. Was looking to cycle out to the top 5, and that may not be an option anymore. He'll have to work for it. Oh, and there goes Matt Johnston off the track. He's lost a spot to Michael Costello as well, and Costello now is looking to get through on Di Gregorio. Michael Costello thundering his way back through the field here. For what could be the provisional lead of the race, Michael Costello makes the pass for 8th on Zhao Di Gregorio. Matt Johnston running back there in 10th. Still awaiting pit stops for Hill, Buchanan, Flaum, Hahn, Claiborne, Siefker, and Allen. Top am is Hahn in 4th. Cody Claiborne with his hands full with Nate Siefker as here comes the race leader Christopher Hill down pit road. We'll see if The overcut is going to work here for Hill. If he could come out ahead of Michael Costello, he may be the one to watch here. His last lap time was a 1:07.84. Purple lap for Buchanan, though, 1:07.18. Wicked quick for Zach Buchanan. Looking for Costello. This is him. And there's Christopher Hill. The overcut seems to be the way to go. So Christopher Hill will cycle out to the lead of this race. Unless Zach Buchanan, Zach Flown, Brett Hahn, Cody Claiborne, or Nate Siefker have anything to say about it. Buchanan last time by ripped off the purple lap. One of only, looks like, 2 drivers to run in the 107s last time by. The other 2 were Costello and Di Gregorio. So Buchanan has all the way until the 2 to go lap to come down pit road and get on fresh tires. 1:07.51 for him last time around. Christopher Hill with Kyle Allen right behind him. Allen yet to make a pit stop. There's Michael Costello and João Di Gregorio all right here. Buchanan quicker than Costello and Di Gregorio. As Costello will get through on Allen. And João will be looking to do the same here. Matt Johnston right back here, not too far behind. So it's the Zachs, Buchanan and Flaum up front. Zach Buchanan is really going to be the one to watch here, I think, because he's still clicking off some very fast lap times. We'll see what kind of... Oh, no, that's Hill! Christopher Hill spins it. Oh, goodness. Well, what could have been a second consecutive victory. They seem to come in bunches here in the Formula Super Series, but it is not looking likely all of a sudden after the transition from the banking reaches out and grabs Christopher Hill in the 101. Well, last time by for Michael Costello, he ran a 108.78 on the fresher tires, and it's a 107.31 for Zach Buchanan. I think Buchanan has figured it out. It's a question of, as Christopher Hill is way off the track again. It's a question of if the overcut works at some of these tracks. I don't think it's a question here. It seems to be the way to go. Brett Hahn is going to pit from third now from the top AM position. Cody Claiborne going to try and overcut him. He stays out on track and nearly spins it out there. That final turn is getting treacherous. Oh, Zach Flaum from second has nosed it into the barrier in turn number 2, or rather turn number 3. Doesn't look like much damage on the front of that car. Still running in second. But as Nate Siefker's just gotten through on Cody Claiborne, applies the pressure just a little bit more. These guys should be battling in the back half of the top 10 or even for top 5 when everything cycles out. That's Brett Hahn, who just came out of the pits, had a little trip through the grass, still fighting for top AM here. Really gets Cody Claiborne and Kyle Allen. Here comes Claiborne down pit road. So the top 3, and we think Kyle Allen as well, have yet to make pit stops And there's Costello ahead of Di Gregorio by half a second. For what very well could be the race lead. But Zach Buchanan, maybe the crossover point is starting to happen. Last time by, Costello and Di Gregorio both faster by a couple of tenths. It's been all Buchanan up to this point. So is this the lap that Buchanan will bring it down pit road? No. .07.72 last time by. This time it's a 107.69. Very nice. Very consistent. Is it going to be very fast? We'll turn our attention now back to Costello and Di Gregorio. Running 4th and 5th on the track, but again, we think that they're going to cycle out to the lead, dependent on how soon Zach Buchanan makes a pit stop. For Costello, 107.40, a personal best lap. Di Gregorio, about a tenth and a half slower, rather. But they are both still faster than Zach Buchanan now. So is it Buchanan's turn to bring it down pit road? Has he got all that he was going to get? All the getting's been good. Yes. Bit wide there on entry. Hopefully not too fast. Jack goes up. When the jack drops, he should pull away right away, and he does. Okay, so no penalty on entry for Buchanan. Here's the $64,000 question. Can he get out ahead of Costello? He's going to get out ahead, but he's not going to be up to speed. He's going to be dropped right in the middle of these two with cold tires. And this will play right into Michael Costello's hands because Di Gregorio is going to have a heck of a time trying to get through. Shall run out wide. Costello is pulling away. Wheel to wheel, and wow, a big snap of oversteer there for Zach Buchanan, who will slot back into the 5th position, but provisionally on podium, as that just cost Di Gregorio about a second and a quarter. Huge time gain for Costello just by Buchanan dropping right in the middle of those two. A lap sooner, and he might have been able to be out in front. Talking about Zach Buchanan. Speaking of Zach's, here's Zach Flom down pit road now. That only leaves Nate Siefker yet to come down pit road. And I believe Brett Hahn as well. Or excuse me, I believe Kyle Allen as well. And the reason that's important is that Kyle Allen's in that top AM position as they run. But Brett Hahn would certainly get past. And yes, Christian Jasper, after some early problems, back up into the top 10, running in 8th. Nate Siefker, the leader. Michael Costello, Joe Di Gregorio, Zach Buchanan, Matt Johnston, the top 5. Jeff Groff is in 6th. Kyle Allen in 7th. Jasper, Bonomi, and Flown, the top 10. Nobody particularly close to one another as they run. Engrav and Cody Claiborne are really the only drivers inside of a second of one another. That is for 12th. Well, Nate Siefker out front just turned the purple lap. The bad news for him is he only has 4 seconds back to Michael Costello, so he is not really looking to get up into the lead of this race. But certainly was vying for positions in the back half of the top 10. Maybe could try and hang on for a top 5 here. I reckon he'll drop right now between Kyle Allen and Christian Jasper, somewhere in 7th and 8th. Buchanan trying to get these tires to fire to catch up to DiGregorio once again, but he is a little over a second off the pace last time around. And he was turning laps almost this fast earlier, so you know he's got it in him. As wow, that was DiGregorio. And he is continuing to have problems here. Needs to get it back in shape before he passes that tire barrier, and he will. Think he's not wheeling this thing? That had disaster written all over it. Goodness gracious. Let's take a look one more time at that. Power slide. Damn. Not done yet. Seifker and Costello down to 100th of a second equal lap time last time around. So again, it's starting to even out a bit, but again, Seifker not trying to cycle out to be in the lead here, just looking for an improvement. And I would indeed say this is going to be a net gain for Nate Seifker, who is going to keep it out on track for at least another lap. Christian Jasper, Kevin Bonomi side by side for 8th. That's Jasper with a wing out ahead on the inside. Outside right now for Bonomi. Bonomi will cut it down in front of Jasper and take the spot away. Bonomi also, similarly from Jasper, trying to recoup from a mistake. Hello to Hunter Leach in the chat. Hello, hello. Gregorio is creeping back into the picture, and he was strong late in the sprint race earlier. On another night where Ty DeSherlock and Mitch Welker have both had problems, and in fact they had the same problem, DiGregorio is just yarding these two in terms of making up serious points. A podium last week when they were both involved in accidents. He's finished every feature since week 2, and that was a jinx. Right there in the middle of the track, Zach Buchanan will get through him. A lot of curbing there on the inside, and that upset that car tremendously. Now he'll have some hot tires to try and fend off Matt Johnston. Just talked about how strong he was late in the race, and boy, that backfired rather quickly. Now he'll be fighting to stay on the podium here again with Matt Johnston. He's really having a tremendous race here tonight. Still waiting to see if Nate Seifker is going to bring it down pit road. He will not this time. Michael Costello ran it a bit wide. Oh, and nearly up into the wall. Goodness gracious. Kyle Allen still held on to this top AM position. I'm trying to dig back through here and see if I've missed a pit stop from him. But I am showing 0 on the pit count, though. So the other top AM right now is Brett Hahn, and Hahn has 11 seconds back to Cody Claiborne. So Brett Hahn comfortably would be the top AM. As here's Johnston on DiGregorio, and Johnston will move through to provisional podium. But Zhao not going away. Whoa! These guys are aggressive here at Homestead. This has been a thrill tonight. Here is Kyle Allen. And so that will leave only Nate Siefker to come down pit road. Siefker the leader by 3.5 seconds. Still putting up good lap times and better lap times than most of the folks that he will be racing for position. But again, we'll have to get the tires up to temperature. Meanwhile, running in second, Michael Costello is trying to put to bed any chances of a rally from Zach Buchanan. He just turned the first lap in the 106s for the night. 106.84 for Costello. This is back to DiGregorio and Johnson for fourth. Brian the Barge with the problem. We'll get it back in motion. Costello, a podium runner at Spa earlier this season. But that's been his only feature top 10 this season. It's been a rough go of things for driver 19. I think Siefker will have to pit this time, and he will. So again, Siefker will be on cold tires here, but he should drop, I would imagine, in 7th. It'll be close, though. That's where Kevin Bonomi currently rides. He will get it in motion. Jeff Groff goes by, Siefker down to 6th, and Bonomi's not even coming out of the final turn yet. So Siefker will be comfortably in the 6th position. He'll have some time to get these tires up to temperature. As Matt Johnson, trying to go for a move here with 2 laps to go. And a bit off into the grass there. Johnson looking for what would be a first Formula Super Series podium. Michael Costello will see the white flag this time. He's 8.5 seconds clear of Zach Buchanan, who is on for a good night. Purple lap last time by for Costello, 106.11. Absolutely turning it on here late. Through the final 2 turns, checkers will wave, and Michael Costello will cross the line for a first career GoSquadra Formula Super Series victory. The co-driver's pad Grand Prix of Miami. Zach Buchanan will take a first career podium finish in a feature race in second. Jowdy Gregorio for the second week in a row will bring it home in third. Problems late for Cody Claiborne. He drops to 13th. Kyle Allen will slip by. He is in 12th. And top AM tonight will go to Brett Hahn in 11th. Great stuff for Costello, who will be the second first-time winner in a row with the GoSquadra Formula Super Series. That tells me that celebration's not over. Zach Buchanan, why not? Burn it down. P2, great podium run for the 40 tonight. This celebration's gone on longer than Costello's, and these are pretty concentric circles as well. This is well done. Oh, and there goes the motor. Alrighty, folks, that was quite the night here at Homestead, and we'll talk to your podium finishers here in just a moment, as we'll take a look at the standings if you want to cooperate with me. Uh-oh. Well, I don't think they're going to cooperate with me, unfortunately. Okay. May just have to do this manual style unless they decide to pop up for whatever reason. All right, so Michael Costello will get the win. Second place to Zach Buchanan. Third to Jowdy Gregorio. We'll talk to your podium finishers here in a minute. Fourth place. Oh, and I think I know the problem now. There we go. Okay, fourth place to Matt Johnston. Fifth place to Jeff Croft. That was my fault, by the way. Sixth place to Nate Siefker. Seventh will go to Kevin Bonomi. Eighth to Hunter Engrav. Ninth to Christian Jasper. And Zach Flaum will round out the top 10. Top AM will be Brett Hahn in P11. We'll talk to him as well. We'll talk to him first. 12th place tonight to Kyle Allen. 13th to Cody Claiborne. 14th to Nick Goyette. Top 15 tonight for Brian LaBarge. Christopher Hill in 16th. Nick Fleury in 17th. Sam McDougall will finish in P18. 19th place finish for Dakota Domain. 20th for Drew White. 21st for Griffin Yellen. J.J. Wang with the early problems in 22nd. Got caught up in that mess between Mitch Welker and Titus Sherlock as well. They will finish 23rd and 24th. Mario Cappellucci in 25th. And DNS is for Gavin Sanders and Dan Miglin in the final two positions. So we will go in search of your top am first, and that will be Brett Hahn here in just a second as soon as I get situated on my end. And we have to actually look for Brett Hahn here as well. We'll swap him into Booth 200. Hot swap your top am tonight. Brett Hahn will get it done. Nicely done here tonight in both the races. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you guys. It was definitely eventful, but we had some fun here. I tell you what, this track is a bunch of fun for what it is. You know, it seems like a smaller track, but you can definitely carry a ton of speed in a lot of corners, and that makes this place really fun and definitely in the driver's hands.
I was going to say very fast, which is cool. I would imagine also very stressful, especially, I mean, I don't know if the cameras were doing it more justice than it deserved, but that transition out of turn 14 and up onto the banking, goodness gracious, that looked like that would break your teeth if you had to do it for 40 minutes in real life.
Oh, definitely. That thing, especially if you took it a little bit wide, it was very rough. I'm glad I don't have a direct drive wheel, because if someone had that and turned up, man, I would expect some broken wrists by the end of this one.
Well, nice job here tonight. Anybody want to shout out or thank?
Yeah, for sure, Tommy. You guys at Turn 200 doing a great job. Can't wait to rewatch this. All the series sponsors and the admins that put on this great race, and all the sponsors for the amateur series. All the guys racing in the amateur, you know, Nick, Cody, Kyle, all those guys, bunch of fun to race around here. So, and all the rest of the guys that put on a great show. Last couple weeks have seemed like they have gotten better. I've gotten better, I think, myself, so that's always good. And of course, the Brett the Jet fans out there. I got my grandma and the rest of the family probably tuning on in.
All righty. Congrats. Shout out to the Jet fans. Hopefully it's going better for you. I know it's going better for you than the actual New York Jets fans. So great job here tonight. We'll hopefully talk to you again next week.
Yeah, that's the plan, Tommy. Keep it rolling.
I'm allowed to say that, by the way, because I am a New York Jets fan. If anybody was curious how my life's been going lately. We'll bring in your third-place finisher. Jowdy Gregorio is back on the podium. I would imagine probably not the result you were wanting here tonight, but it's another great points night in another crazy race. Congratulations on a podium.
Hi, guys. Good night for everyone. Today I want to start to say a big thank you to two guys that helped me to be on track today. The nickname that we use for one of him, it's Mustache. His name is Junior Borborema. And the other one is Casio from Pro Racing Simuladores, because my pedal broke on Wednesday because of Chicago race. You know, that I was complaining like 2-3 weeks, and then definitely gone. And they sent like from Wednesday to Monday, I just built like the pedal like 2 hours before the race, and the pedal was very good. A little different than I was used to, but very good. So I'm here today because of my dear friend Mustache and Casio from Pro Racing. So I just want to say a huge thanks. I got like a junior mistake on turn 1. I was like fighting for P1. I was fighting Michael, but I was thinking like, where should I attack and where I was fasting, and then I just like blank out. And when I saw, I just run over like really hard the curb on turn 1 and just had a spin. It was a very, very unusual mistake, but that thing happens just like a P3 on the score tonight. And a huge thank for those who make that possible, because without them, I wasn't going to be here because I had no pedals. Chicago was my last race. Since Chicago, I didn't do anyone because I couldn't. I didn't have the pedals. So just like say thanks to them.
You have to be feeling pretty good for the last 3 weeks. More problems for the drivers that you're racing against for the championship as well. The next 3 tracks, the next 3 weeks, do you feel confident?
Detroit is a very carnage one. It's a very difficult one, but I love that track. Was the track that made my World Championship license good. It was the track that I did well in the past. And Barber is a difficult one. It's a very tricky to pass, but if if with Indy is very good, with Super Formula will be awesome. Road America will be like a draft master series because of the long straight, but it's three. Those are three tracks that I feel pretty comfortable to be. But it's a long championship. Things can happen, so let's just play with the rule book under our arms.
Is there anybody else you want to thank here tonight?
Just say thank you to Pro Racing, to CND Racing, to Pilotech, to Pichal, that is a computer parts store here in Brazil, and just a huge kiss to my fiance as well.
Alrighty, thank you very much for the time here tonight. Congratulations on another podium, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week.
Okay, see you next week.
Alrighty. It's time to talk to your runner-up finisher. First Formula Super Series podium for Zach Buchanan here tonight in car number 40. Well driven, well executed here tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm glad to finally be in the booth this season.
Wild race. You see yourself kind of running in the top 5 there, and one by one, everybody starts to go to pit road. And we're looking at the timing charts, and we're like, oh, you're still running like purple laps and personal bests out front and really lighting up the charts still. Was that the plan all along to go to the overcut, or did that just kind of like fall in your lap?
Frankly, I had no clue what to do because I do know that this car, like as with any car, it's quicker when you're light on fuel, and the tires do last quite a while on this car, especially at a track like that. And of course, cold tires is like such a huge hindrance. You're so slow, and the car is barely controllable for a lap or two. It takes 5 laps or so to get heat back in. So I couldn't decide whether to go long or just get the pit stop out of the way. And I don't really know if I made the right call or not. I don't think it would have made much of a difference. I think even if Joao didn't spin out like he did, I would have probably ended up right behind him either way. So yeah.
I mean, this is already a difficult track to really just to drive in general, from the looks of it anyway. But the cold tires thing is another layer on top of that. But then you make your pit stop. You're trying to fight for the lead, and also you're dropped right in the middle of the 2 drivers that are looking to cycle out around you. I mean, that's a high-pressure situation if there was one here.
Yeah, in the first half of the race, even when I got out of the lead, I was like really trying to stay as like calm and collected as I could, and that was working out. But as soon as I came out of the pits and almost hit the other guys too with my cold tires, it definitely made my heart race a little more. So I definitely have to try to calm myself down. But yeah, it was. I think just doing my best to stay calm and collected, especially after the frankly awful race I had in the sprint. I think that was the big difference between those 2 races for me.
Yeah, plus 19 for you here tonight. Congratulations, huge run. Congrats on a podium. Anybody you want to shout out or thank here?
Thanks to you guys for the broadcast. Thanks to the admins for hosting. It's been a fun season so far. And shout out to Mitch as well, who had a pretty bad night tonight. But it was still cheering me on and trying to help me out. So, yeah.
Well, let's do this again sometime. We got 3 more races. Why don't we get you another podium here?
I hope so. Maybe Road America. Road America has been my quick one. So, hopefully.
Well, we'll look forward to it. But in the meantime, go celebrate. Nice donuts, by the way. Very, very clean.
Thank you.
So,
thank you. My car's engine didn't like it, but
no.
I had fun.
They typically don't. But great job here tonight.
Thank you. Have a good one.
And now we'll shift it over to your race winner for the first time in the GoSquadra Formula Super Series. Michael Costello is on the top step of the podium here tonight at Homestead. Congratulations. It's been a while, or a long time coming, rather, after a season just seemingly chock full of horrendous luck for you. But it's all behind you tonight.
Yeah, no, thank you. I mean, I have no words for the season. I am fast, just have no luck. Pretty much like how my USF 2000 season went. No, I mean, tonight it was just about having experience at this track in person, and just about the tire deck and everything else, just managing all the tires, making sure you could just push toward the end, not making mistakes, and that's just what I was thinking about the whole time. Not too stressed out about anything, just really just driving.
So, do you run the same layout in the USF, or do you use the actual oval part of the track in turns 3 and 4?
We have run the same layout for every test day we've done, mainly because we can't run the oval. It just bottoms too much. But yeah, it's the exact same track as what I've run so many times. So yeah, it's definitely a home race for me.
I mean, how many teeth have you lost on that transition from the final turn up onto the banking on the front stretch? That just seems wicked.
Yeah, no, it's really, really rough. In person, it's the same. It just kills the bottoms of the floor. So every time you're going onto the banking, you just pray, please don't have a moment, because 90% of the time you're not going to save it.
I mean, you put in great work here tonight all throughout the race. Having to fend off Di Gregorio at different points, and also whatever happened there in the mid race as well, that sees you drop a couple of positions and then you get them all back anyway. I mean, you definitely had this place figured out here tonight.
Yeah, no, I mean, for the last week, I've just had rolling blackouts. It's after the IMS 6 hours, just constant rolling blackouts. I mean, they're just random too. I lost about 10 seconds just from it. But, I didn't think it was over. I just kept pushing, knowing tonight could be my chance for hopefully a breakthrough for the rest of the season, for points for the team and for the drivers. And yeah, I just kept pushing and just made the best of it, and we came out on top.
Definitely a clutch night for you here tonight in terms of the team points rather. Congratulations on a win, long overdue. Glad we could get you one here this season, though. Anybody want to shout out or thank you today?
First, I want to shout out the Team Eclipse competition. We have been putting in so much effort just with the endurance side and also with this, just making sure we could have fun and winning races all the time. I want to thank Titus Sherlock, for even though he had a bad night, he kept supporting me through the whole thing. Basically became my race engineer. I want to thank ProGuard Warranty for all the help this season. EDA Eyewear. If you ever want to get some cool sunglasses, go hit them up. Easily best in the world. And I want to thank Race Suit Valet for always keeping my suits clean. Obviously, I want to shout out to my dad and everything else. Without him, I wouldn't be on the sim nor doing IRL racing. And yeah.
All righty, partner. Go celebrate a hard-fought victory here tonight, and we'll hopefully talk to you again here soon.
Bye.
All righty, that is Michael Costello, your first-time winner. For the second week in a row, first-time winner here with the GoSquadra Formula Super Series. This race tonight did not disappoint. The co-drivers pad Grand Prix of Miami was a smashing success. Homestead Road A, the GOAT Homestead Road. Thank you all very much for hanging out with us here tonight. Thank you to, of course, co-drivers Pad. Thank you to 4D Racewear. Thank you to GoSquadra. And thank you to anybody else that has supported the GoSquadra Formula Super Series here on Turn 200. Thank you to the admin staff as well with the Formula Racing Series and the Formula Super Series. We will see you hopefully tomorrow night with the Venom Truck Series. That will be 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time from Circuit of the Americas. Chase race number 2 of 5 for the Venom Trucks on the road course. That will be a very interesting one. First time in series history they are running at COTA. We'll follow that up with a race at Talladega on Thursday night. It is the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series Playoff Round number 2, race number 2 from Dega. And that'll be 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And then you'll catch us back here on Monday for the GoSquadra from the Super Series Turn 200 debut from Barber Motorsports Park. Very much looking forward to that one. We should have it on the channel here more very soon. Very excited about that. That's all we've got for you here tonight, though. On behalf of the one and only Mr. Matt Williamson, hopefully he's gotten home safe. And on behalf of everybody with the GoSquadra Formula the Super Series, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long, and congratulations to Michael Costello, your first-time winner in the GoSquadra Formula the Super Series here from the Co-Drivers Pad Grand Prix of Miami. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.